The brutal math of divorce, from collapse to Centurion rebuild. The courtroom is silent. The judge leans forward, his voice sharp and final. Alimony, child support, division of assets. This is the order of the court. The gavel slams down, and in that instant, the man's life fractures. Years of work, a home built, dreams invested, all shattered with one sentence. He walks out of that courtroom feeling hollow, like the air has been punched from his lungs. The math is brutal. His income slashed by nearly half, his expenses doubled. In real terms, this is what divorce does to men. Studies show a man's standard of living can drop between 10% and 40% in the first year post-divorce. That isn't theory, it's lived reality. He sits in his car, gripping the wheel, staring out at nothing. Behind his eyes swirl shame, anger, disbelief. The world doesn't care. The bills will still come. The court doesn't stop for emotions. This is the scroll's crossroad. Collapse, retreat, blame, or face the math and rebuild like a centurion. The fall days later, the for sale sign goes up in front of the house he once called home. The place where laughter echoed, where his kids learned to ride bikes in the driveway, now reduced to a transaction. Realtors walk through with strangers, their shoes squeaking on floors he installed, their eyes calculating market value. He signs papers with trembling hands. Selling the house isn't just financial loss, it's identity loss. Scrolls bleed out here. They cling to the past, drain their accounts to hold on to status they can't afford, spiral into debt. But he doesn't have that luxury. He watches the moving truck load up his furniture, the memories packed into boxes. Painful, humiliating, yes, but necessary. The lifestyle cuts come fast. The car goes next. Vacations disappear. Dinner out becomes canned soup in a half-empty fridge. Friends vanish when the status symbols are gone. He's stripped down to bare survival. This is inevitability. Divorce is subtraction. Assets cut, income cut, pride cut. The equation is simple. Marriage collapse. Legal loss. Asset bleed. Lifestyle destruction. NASA would call it orbital decay. Once the gravity of debt and obligation takes hold, you spiral downward until you burn out. Unless you fire thrusters, adjust trajectory, and fight back. The spiral, he opens his closet. Designer suits, shoes polished for nights out. They mean nothing now. He snaps pictures of them, lists them online, and waits for strangers to claim pieces of his old life. Every sale hurts, but each one puts another $100 into a war chest he desperately needs. The TV goes. The guitar he swore he'd learn to play someday goes. The watch she gave him years ago, gone. Each item a memory, each transaction a reminder. Nothing is sacred when you're fighting for survival. This is where scrolls break. They drown in nostalgia, drink themselves numb, and curse the system. They choose victimhood. And the math punishes them. No cuts, plus no extra income, ill-guaranteed collapse. But he makes the Centurion's choice. He strips life down to the essentials. He looks at every dollar as a soldier in his rebuilding army. Waste is betrayal. Discipline is survival. The fix begins. He picks up the phone, applies for a second job. Nights, weekends, whatever it takes. He goes from manager in the daylight to warehouse worker at midnight. Pride takes a back seat. He's exhausted, body aching, but every paycheck builds a new foundation. Scrolls won't do this. They whine about lost status. Centurions do whatever it takes. One paycheck for obligations, one paycheck for the future. The math shifts. Primary job income. Obligations equals survival. Second job income equals rebuild. It's not glamorous. It's war. He sells his last luxury, his motorcycle. The machine that once gave him freedom now funds his new reality. The money doesn't go to indulgence. It goes straight into a bank account labeled base. A small victory, but symbolic. He's no longer bleeding, he's stabilizing. Rebuild rituals, day one in a tiny apartment. 4 walls, 1 mattress on the floor, and silence. No family photos, no soft rug, no echo of children's laughter. Just space, empty but his. He sits at a folding table with a notebook, a pen, and the numbers. Income, expenses, obligations. Every cent logged. This is his Centurion ritual, the brotherhood way. Numbers don't lie, they reveal. They strip away excuses. He opens a new bank account. A clean slate. No joint names, no shared history, no ghosts from the past. Just his. The first deposit hits, his second job paycheck. Small but real. For the first time in months, he feels control trickle back into his hands. Rent is modest. The apartment is bare. But there is power in simplicity. No unnecessary furniture. No wasted space. He controls what comes in and what goes out. Scrolls chase appearances. Centurions chase stability. The equation now works in his favor. Cut lifestyle plus increase income plus control expenses equals stability. The transformation months pass. The man who staggered out of court broken is not the man who now stands in front of the mirror. His face is leaner, lined with grit. His eyes sharper. His body hardened by long hours, both at work and at the gym. He's still paying alimony, still paying child support, but he is no longer crushed by them. His finances are tracked, his income diversified, his expenses controlled. He isn't rich, not yet, but he has stability, and stability is the platform for power. Scrolls never make it here. They give up, blame the system, rot in silence. Centurions claw their way back. They sell, they cut, they grind. And in that process, they become forged men. He looks around his apartment, the bank statement in his hand, the second job check in the drawer. Humble beginnings, but they are his. He has fought for them, earned them, built them from the ashes of collapse. And the choice remains, the same for every man watching this. Stay a scroll, crushed by inevitability, or become a centurion, fight the math with discipline and build a life on your own terms. Closing hammer. You've just seen the math. You've seen the fall and you've seen the rebuild. Divorce will try to break you. Finances will try to strangle you. The world will not care. Scrolls drown. Centurions rise. Join OLP 365, or keep pretending the silence is strength until it leaves you with nothing. As he stands in front of that mirror, the scars of his struggle etched across his face, he understands that every ounce of pain has forged him into something new. Freedom doesn't come without sacrifice, but it has carved resilience into his bones. The man who once felt hollow now recognizes the weight of his choices. A foundation built on survival and discipline, not on the myths of nostalgia that used to define him. Day by day, he becomes more than just a survivor. He transforms into a warrior, ready to reclaim his life piece by piece. The math of rebuilding is harsh, but it becomes his guiding compass. The reality of his transformation hits him with every passing day, a steady progression from despair to determination. He has set boundaries, cultivated new habits, and erected walls against self-pity that once threatened to consume him. Every dollar he saves becomes a brick in the fortress he is building against future uncertainty. He remembers the laughter of his children. It fuels his fire, reminding him that the fight is not just for survival, but for a legacy he wishes to create. The path ahead may be fraught with challenges, but with every victory, no matter how small, he reaffirms his choice to be a centurion. Through discipline, he is crafting not just a life, but a brighter future for himself and for them. "You've faced the brutal math," he whispers, feeling the weight of his journey. The echoes of laughter, once laden with nostalgia, now serve as motivation. Visualizing their smiles, he opens the notebook again, meticulously mapping out a budget that accommodates not just survival, but also savings for future adventures together. Each calculated sacrifice transforms into a promise to be both father and role model. The flicker of hope ignites into a flame within him, strong enough to light the darkest days. In this movement toward more than just existence, he learns the invaluable truth. His past does not define him. His choices shape his destiny. Every decision resonates with purpose, paving the path to a future where they can rebuild what was lost. He's no longer a victim of circumstance. He's an architect of his life, constructing every block with intention and love, determined to rise, thrive, and inspire others to do the same. The journey continues. Each morning greets him with a choice: to dwell on what he's lost, or to focus on what lies ahead. The world outside his tiny apartment is relentless, but within these walls, he's determined to craft a sanctuary of resilience. He sets new goals, not just for survival, but for building a legacy. Each step forward is met with unwavering commitment. Each setback is merely a lesson ingrained in his growing strength. He reaches out to connect with other centurions, sharing stories, pooling resources, and igniting motivation among one another. This brotherhood becomes a source of support, a reminder that he is not alone in this fight. As he cultivates relationships built on shared understanding, he begins to envision a future filled not only with stability, but also with joy. The math of his past has prepared him for the equations of his rebirth. He learns to harness hope and discipline as powerful allies on this uphill climb. Unwavering faith drives him forward, transforming anxiety into action, spurring him to tackle life's challenges head-on, one calculation at a time. In this renewed perspective, he realizes the future is his to design, and he's embracing it fully. He pushes through the door of his tiny apartment, the sunlight spilling in to illuminate the space where yesterday's echoes still linger. A thin layer of dust coats the folding table, but he wipes it away with a determined swipe, as if clearing a path for new aspirations. Today is a turning point. He's not merely surviving, he's reigniting dreams long suppressed. With a fresh page in his notebook, he sketches out plans not only for finances, but also for himself and his children, a vision of a life reclaimed. The unfamiliar routine of each dawn fills him with purpose, igniting a resolve that burns brighter each day. This journey isn't just about overcoming the rubble of his past. It's about resurrecting the joy he once took for granted. With each decision, from budgeting for essentials to setting aside playful weekends, he cultivates a narrative where hope reigns. This new chapter will be written not in despair, but in triumph, as he redefines what it means to be a father and a man of integrity. He smiles, for he knows that with every disciplined choice, every calculated step, he's shaping a legacy that his children will one day understand and appreciate. Their future, grounded in love and stability, is the treasure he will safeguard against all odds. The journey has just begun, and it pulses with life. He takes a deep breath, letting the fresh air fill his lungs as he steps outside, his surroundings buzzing with life. The noise of traffic and laughter intertwines, and he absorbs it like fuel, a reminder that joy still exists beyond his walls. He walks down the street, determination in his stride, as he meets other Centurions along the way, like-minded souls who are carving paths of resilience. They nod in recognition, sharing silent connections, affirming their battles. Every story exchanged becomes a lesson, each moment camaraderie, reinforcing the idea that pain can transform into power. This shared experience, forged in the fires of struggle, empowers him, reminding him that he is part of something larger than himself. They are warriors together, rewriting the narrative of their lives. As he approaches the local community center, he feels anticipation bubbling within him. Today is a meeting, a gathering not just about survival tips, but about aspirations and rebuilding dreams. Here, surrounded by men who have walked his path, he is reminded that the essence of a Centurion lies not just in individual resilience, but in the collective strength forged through unity and shared resolve. They are rising together. He enters the community center, where warmth and laughter greet him, filling the air with an infectious energy that fuels his spirit. Men gather around tables, sharing stories and strategies, each face etched with determination against the backdrop of their shared struggles. He takes a seat, absorbing their experiences, realizing that vulnerability does not equate to weakness. Rather, it is a catalyst for growth. With every shared tale of heartbreak and triumph, the bonds of brotherhood strengthen, weaving a net of support that catches them all. Eyes light up as plans for future endeavors are discussed. Small businesses, educational pursuits, community impact initiatives. Together, they are redefining what it means to rise from the ashes, transforming their collective pain into a powerful force for change. As he shares his own journey, he feels the weight of isolation lift, replaced by a newfound sense of belonging. This is not just a meeting, it's a movement. The conversations spark like fireworks, visions igniting as each man lays bare his ambitions, crafting a shared mosaic of dreams intertwined with resilience. Ideas flow fluidly. Business ventures that were once mere thoughts now taking shape alongside plans for community outreach, collective healing, and the interchange of resources that promise growth. He offers his thoughts on establishing a mentorship program, envisioning a bridge for those still entangled in despair, guiding them toward the light of possibilities. Enthusiasm brews, the room alive with energy that pulses like a heartbeat, a testament to their collective determination. They aren't just supporting each other, they're fostering hope, kindling a fire of aspiration that burns brightly in the darkest corners of their experiences. The realization settles in, this journey isn't merely about rebuilding individual lives. It encompasses a broader narrative, one that extends far beyond personal survival into the realm of community rebirth. Together, they are cultivating legacies that will echo through generations, rewriting their stories with every ounce of strength and grit they possess. A promise hangs palpably in the air. Change is coming, and as Centurions, they will drive it forward, hand in hand, towards a tomorrow illuminating with boundless potential. As the meeting draws to a close, the energy in the room transforms into action. Men begin to exchange contact information, forming networks that promise support and collaboration. They leave with plans in hand, determined to turn their ideas into tangible realities. With renewed purpose, he steps outside and breathes in the evening air, filled with the electric pulse of community. The sun sets, painting the sky with hues of hope, reflecting the fire ignited within him. A blazing resolve to not only rebuild his own life, but to uplift others on this shared journey. Together, they are forging a brighter future, one forged in the spirit of resilience and brotherhood. The journey from collapse to reconstruction is not merely a fight against adversity. It's a testament to the human spirit's ability to rise, adapt, and thrive. Through the trials, he has not only reclaimed his life, but has inspired a collective uprising of strength and hope among his peers. The power of unity transforms struggles into shared victories, propelling them all toward a brighter tomorrow, fueled by the unwavering belief that they are the architects of their destinies. Together they forge onward, embodying the essence of true Centurions, ready to embrace the challenges ahead with courage and resilience.